Coach Bo here with 80/20 Baseball. 3 pitching tips for you. Here we go. These tips are for pitchers pitching out of the stretch. This could be with nobody on. If pitchers are preferring to pitch from the stretch with nobody on, or with runners on, of course, with the chance of stealing the next base. First one, and I got this from Doug Latta over at the Ball Yard in Southern California. He's a well-known hitting coach. I don't know him personally, but I followed him, watched his videos, really like where he's coming from. I think he really gets it. Now, this video, of course, isn't about hitting. One of the things he stresses and teaches his hitters is to have 50-50 balance when they're in the box, 50-50 when they're set, ready to hit. As pitchers, I think we need to do the same thing when it comes to our set position. 50-50 balance, 50-50, even distribution. One thing you'll see pitching coaches is our pitchers that really sink and sit down on their back leg, their ready position, in their set position, I should say. They really get here. I highly discourage this. Sometimes you'll see pitchers leaning forward. That's probably worse, in my opinion, than putting too much weight on the back leg to start. Teach a 50-50 balance. Second, feet shoulder width apart. You'll see pitchers get really wide. Don't copy professional pitchers when they're doing some of these quirky things. Professional pitchers train, they're full-grown men. They've trained for a lot of years. They've got the foundations, the fundamentals. I highly recommend not copying professional pitchers with their wide varieties of setup positions. Those guys have thrown 100,000 pitches. Youth pitchers, it's important that we stick to those things, those first principles that work. Once you're 22 and you get drafted and you want to adjust a few things and your full-grown man strength is kicked in, okay, you can do some things like getting a little bit wider. I highly recommend a 50-50 balance, shoulder width apart. It doesn't have to be exact, but I wouldn't get right together and I wouldn't get more than about right here. This is going to vary depending on the pitcher's size. Now, some pitchers that are bow-legged or knock-kneed, if you have a bow-legged pitcher, their feet might be a little closer, but their hips and where their legs are coming down are actually in the right spot or in a good spot. Knock-kneed pitchers might look like their legs are really close together, but their feet are actually in a pretty good spot. So 50-50 balance, shoulder width apart with our feet. And last but not least, tip number 3, a nice breath on the way down to our set position, such as this. 50-50, shoulder width. All right, it's been Coach Bo. Adios.